Welcome, ladies, gents, and every fish, to the first ever official Autistic Fish Racing League series. Today, we have a very exciting matchup of Red, Wheeze, Erp, Gleepy, and Schlart. Every single one of them will be performing at their absolute best for their sponsors in this series. Personally, from what we've seen in the pre-series, Gleepy has been on a reign of terror, as well as significant gains from Erp and Wheeze. Although, as of late, Red has been significantly underperforming, especially in these most recent games with the new involvement and aggressive strategy of Gleepy, as well as potentially it being floated by a sponsor to be replacing him with a new and upcoming prospect. But beyond all of that, folks, let's get into this race. Strong start from Schlart, but he immediately bounces back. Red also going for another hit, but again, bouncing back to the starting area. Looks like Red and Erp moving down. Can Erp get down there? Moving it into the center. Bouncing back. Moving around alongside Schlart. Gleepy moving his way downwards. Again, shoving his way past Schlart. Erp getting stuck right up before the final turn. It looks like Wheeze and Red are still stuck in there. Schlart making his way into the final turn before pushing back alongside the pressure of Gleepy. Wheeze and Red still stuck up top as Gleepy blocks them from moving back in. Schlart making it into the final turn. Can he make it into that final chamber there? He looks like he has a final shot. Can he make it? Gleepy strongly behind him. Erp and Red. And will Schlart take it? He's right there. Gleepy moving in as well. And Gleepy will steal this first race's victory from Schlart. Oh my goodness. Schlart had a very, very strong performance this race. He was very much lining up that final shot there with Wheeze, Red, and Erp sort of hanging back. But it ended up, he took far too long to finally get the right angle on that final shot before Gleepy was able to sweep in after doing a decisive block on Wheeze and Red to stop them from getting into the roundabout area. And he takes the victory for this first match. We will currently be having the scorers marking down the stats for the first series as Gleepy continues his reign of terror. All right, folks, moving into this second race here. As of late, Gleepy has been continuing his very, very strong strategy, and it looks like it's working here. His sponsors have been saying that he's been continuously effective, and his training has really shown that, with him reaching insane records in performance during that. And Schlart, even though this is his first real series, moving on from the minor leagues, he's been performing very good, especially after that last game. Although he did end up choking towards the end, it was a very good performance, and even though he didn't get first, I think that shines very, very good on his resume to his sponsors and any potential sponsors that might pick him up on the long run. As of Red, I believe that even as the series begins, beforehand he was already performing very poorly, and if it continues onward, I don't think we'll be seeing Red in the league much longer, but who knows, maybe he can turn it around in the last second, or perhaps Gleepy will continue his dominance over the league as of now. Let's get into it. Schlart again starting off strong, but moving back to the starting area. Wheeze making his way down the left tunnel as Erp attempts to push his way through. Erp making a quick dash through the center alongside Red. Gleepy going down the other route, but looks like he gets stuck up there. Red pushing down the center again, getting very close to a final shot here. Can he bounce back down? Red very close. This might be a very quick race, folks. Can he do it? And Red will successfully make his way down through that center, and he will make this race. Looks like we will have Red in first, Erp in second, Schlart in third, Wheeze in fourth, and Gleepy in last. An amazing performance by Red there. That's simply phenomenal. I think this is drilled a little bit more hope into his sponsors and his fans as his continued career, and if he can keep this sort of up, or this sort of behavior up, I think we'll be seeing a very, very long career for Red in the league. Gleepy looks like he stalled a lot this race, and maybe he's been pushing himself too hard. Perhaps his training regimen's finally caught up to him, but I think he'll be able to make it through this and keep going. As for Schlart, again, a very strong start this race. He started strong. He made his way down, but he didn't quite have enough to take the win again. But again, as always, he's a very new player, and he's just getting used to the league here. Wheeze was stuck up in the starting area for a very long time, almost the entire race, or if not the entire race. Just adding on to his underwhelming performance as of recent, and it's not poor enough to where I believe that he will be replaced anytime soon, but if he doesn't turn it around, I think some either more harsh or severe training regimens will be coming up, or they might have to move sponsors and he might lose his contract with his current one. Erp pulling another unnoticed near victory here. That seems to have been a strategy for the past while, simply sneaking past all of the others, especially Gleepy, and being able to take that victory, or at least second place. But overall, very, very good performance from all of the fish. Welcome back, everybody, to the third race of the first series of the Autistic Fish Racing League. Last race, we saw Red making an amazing comeback from his previous failures, as well as Erp, again, using his very good stealthily tactics to almost take the win there. Wheeze and Gleepy sort of underperforming, as Schlart had a very strong start, but again, wasn't able to take even like second or first for that race. But I'm hoping to see either even more good work on Red or Erp, or perhaps Gleepy will just get back up from this little break here and continue onward. Let's see. Everybody's starting out pretty condensed in the starting area. Wheeze going for an immediate shot for the victory, but it looks like he'll be blocked by Erp, and Erp using Wheeze. Wheeze right there. Wheeze almost making it to the finish line. Oh my goodness. Can he line it up? And Wheeze will take it. Simply amazing, folks. Absurd speed from Wheeze there. Immediately, right off of the bat, getting out of that starting area, pushing his way through, making it downwards, getting to the victory after a quick scuffle with Erp. Simply amazing. And Erp also having a great performance. If Wheeze wasn't there, I think Erp would have taken it. As of the rest of the racers, they remained stuck up in start, which I cannot really criticize them for. Getting out of that start area on this racing track is very, very difficult. And honestly, I commend anybody that can do, honestly, just beyond that start and out of that pocket initially. But amazing speedy performance from Wheeze here. This map, once you get out of that start, you can get really quick to the victory line, but it is very rare. And Wheeze was able to pull it off. Simply phenomenal. Welcome back, everybody, to the fourth race of the Autistic Fish Racing League Series 1. We're back after Wheeze's insanely quick victory from the last race. It almost feels like we're still in race 3 here, honestly. And Gleepy also, from last race, has begun to continue to underperform, getting last again, with Erp getting another very good score with Red and Schlart having, again, okay performances, nothing out of the ordinary for them. But currently, I think Wheeze has just begun his resurgence as the newcomer and shaking up the old players here, like he did when he first joined the league. And I think Gleepy's finally his immense speed, agilities, and strength through those beginning games before the series. That exhaustion has finally caught up to him, and he needs to be able to turn it around really quick, unless he wants to be either placed on leave or replaced here. Let's start. Erp starting it off strong alongside Red. Both of them pushing down tunnels there. Erp looks like he's almost going for the pocket, but he has an almost straight shot at the victory. Red getting stuck in the roundabout. The rest of the racers still stuck in the starting area. Looks like both Red and Erp are stuck in those roundabouts. Very difficult racetrack. Schlart almost makes it down, but he's blocked by Red as Erp moves back in. Red gets stuck in the pocket. Everybody else still in the start area. This looks like this race might go on for a while, folks. Everybody still remaining stuck in the starting area. Red still failing to get out of that pocket. And it looks like he's finally made himself out, but will he return to the start area or continue down? It looks like Gleepy is able to work his way through that right tunnel. Red almost getting caught in the pocket again. Gleepy going for that final shot. Will he make it, or will he end up backing off in all these pockets? Gleepy right at the cusp of victory, and Gleepy will take it here. Oh my goodness. Looks like Gleepy, towards the beginning there, he had a very, very slow start. It looked like that exhaustion was still gripping a hold of him. But after seeing, I think, Erp and Red's performance and looking again like he might get last here, I think he pulled something up from inside of himself, and he began again to push his way through that tunnel. Honestly, in the beginning there, him working his way through that tunnel was it's inspirational. It was amazing that show of sports, that show of skill there. And with Erp and Red also immediately getting to the roundabout, it really shows how skilled these racers are. Wheeze remained stuck in the start area though, and I think my predictions from before this game might be a little off, folks. But regardless, very, very good performance from both Gleepy, Red, and Erp there. Hello, everybody, and we are back with the final game of the Autistic Fish Racing League Series 1. This entire series has been very, very close. Personally, I don't even know who's in the lead of this series here. It's been very close. I believe almost every racer has gotten one victory, or at least close. And it's honestly an amazing sport to watch with this. And from what I'm seeing, I honestly cannot give any reliable predictions for this game. Every single time they've completely defied my expectations of them. It's phenomenal. But beyond that, the entire sport, this series, has been changed, with Gleepy being presumably at the beginning of it the top dog of the league, performing relatively in the middle for this whole game, either getting last or first. It's very bipolar victory rate from him, and for everybody else, it's been very steady. But beyond that, let's get into this race. Everybody's stuck in the starting area. Schlart moving his way down through the blocks. Everybody else along, Erp joining him. Red being blocked by Erp, but failing a juke by Red. Oh my goodness. Schlart making his way down. Erp going for that final shot. Wheeze squeezing his way past Erp. Will he immediately get it? And Wheeze yet again with a very quick victory after squeezing past Erp, who looked like he was going to take it. Amazing work by Erp, or not by Erp, by Wheeze. And Gleepy and Red mostly remained in the starting area until the last area. As you can see, Gleepy just barely got out, and Red was just following him. Schlart got out again, very strong, very quick, but he wasn't able to get that lineup, and he got sort of caught in the area between that right tunnel area and the victory. Very, very interesting match, but we'll see what the scores say for this end of series score, and who will be taking it home for this series. All right, folks, we've gotten our scores back from the refs, and honestly, it's very astounding. All scores here have been tallied up, and it looks like everybody besides Red was tied for second, all with 15 points, lowest with the victory. Very interesting. Like I said, this was a very, very close series. And Red just barely taking the win there by 1 point with 14. And it's honestly, it shocked even me when I got the results. I was expecting maybe a win from Gleepy or Erp. They both performed relatively good, but Red is simply astounding to hear that he had gained the victory in the series. But this reflects very good on him. As you can recall, I mentioned at the beginning of the series, but he's been underperforming this series. But I think winning this, even if it was by, you know, the skin of his teeth there, very, very good looking on him. And everybody else being so close, I don't think it will really cause any negative connotations for anybody else. I think going into this next series, it'll probably just continue the same racers, and with no real training or any changes for the rest of them. And I think this game, it doesn't really matter who has the best training or sponsor here. It's just who has the most skill, and it looks like everybody's pretty equal, with Red just having barely squeezed that one out.